and welcome back to Ronnie the Reader. Long time no see. Well, really about a month. July just kind of got away from me. I have been in a bit of a reading slump anyway, so I really have not been reading. So I don't really have that much to update as far as reading is concerned, but I am back today with a video talking, of course, about books that who knows if they really will get read, but we'll see. Of course, today I am talking about some anticipated releases for the second half, August to December-ish of 2025. And so I have only 6 books on the list. I did watch my last video, which was the mid-year book freakout tag. I talked about how I really haven't been paying attention that much to new releases this year. There's a few authors that I have read a lot from that I was aware were coming out with new books this year. And for the most part, I have read those. And those, if you did miss it, of course, Riley Sager with a Vengeance. I read Suzanne Collins for the new Hunger Games book I read. I'm currently listening to Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell, and then I'm waiting on my audiobook holds for the new Sherry LaPina book and the new Megan Miranda book. And those are really the 5 main books that I knew were coming out this year, which all were in the first half, basically. I know that the latest 3 of Sherry LaPina, Megan Miranda, and Lisa Jewell are fairly new releases. I think they all just came out on the same day or within the week of each other. So I was aware of those books. Was excited for them. I am anticipating all of them. I've really liked With a Vengeance and the new Hunger Games book, and I'm enjoying Don't Let Him In so far. I'm about 25% of the way through the audiobook. So books for the second half of the year, one, I just didn't have that many on my radar, and so I just kind of looked around a little bit just to kind of see what was on the docket for some authors that I've followed and read from in the past and have enjoyed, as well as I found via some lists and things, books that I have not read before, or obviously that haven't read the books before, books from authors that I have not read before. So I only have 6 books on the list for this half of the year. So yeah, I'm just going to go through them. They're in sort of chronological order, mainly by genre, but there's only 6, so I'll go through them each and kind of give you a little bit of the synopsis and why I am anticipated or excited to read them. And then we will just kind of go from there. So let's get started since we only have 6 to get through. So first up is One Dark Night by Hannah Rochelle, I believe is how you pronounce that author's last name. And this book is being released on August 19th. It is a mystery thriller, and the kind of log line or the quick, snappy little synopsis to get you interested reads: on Halloween, a group of teenage students meet in the woods near Sally in the Wood, a road steeped in local lore and rumored to be haunted by the ghost of a murdered girl. By the time of the end of the night, one student will be dead. And so this, I believe, is set in England. It either is in England or America. But yeah, this kind of premise just sounds interesting. I'm all for supernatural mystery thriller horror stories. I've mostly read from those from Simone St. James before, and I have enjoyed them. None of them have been perfect for me though, so when I saw this, I was like, oh, this sounds like it would be really good to check out to see how I feel about that kind of paranormal sub-genre from not Simone St. James. Since I haven't had a 5-star from that author before, I've read 4 stars. I think I've read 3 books by them, and they've been 4 stars each. So, kind of looking to see what I need from the 5-star, and maybe this one will do it, maybe not, but regardless, I think that this one just sounds fun and exciting, so gonna be looking forward to it. The second book on the list is Famous by Blake Crouch. This is being published on September 23rd. Sort of. I think this book actually was originally either self-published or indie published back in 2010 or something like that, and now it's getting a formal publication, I assume. But essentially you're following a man in this book who kind of looks very similar to this really famous actor, I believe, and he always gets mistaken for him, and he kind of is down on his luck. He is really envious of this kind of celebrity that he always is mistaken for. And so one day when I think he loses his job, and it kind of sounds like one of those things where he loses his job, he finds out his girlfriend's cheating on him, his parents tell him that they hate him, kind of everything is going wrong. If you kind of think of typical setup in a 2000s comedy, kind of raunchy teen comedy, that's very much what the synopsis was giving me. But essentially all of this is going down, and then he decides, okay, this is finally the day where I'm going to take over this actor's life, who I believe is James something. But yeah, so the kind of synopsis and things, I didn't read any reviews, but the synopsis kind of mentions that this is like a dark comedy thriller. So we'll see how this one goes. I've read Blake Crouch before. I read Recursion and Dark Matter, and both of those were 5-star reads for me. I really enjoyed them. I enjoyed, though, more like the sci-fi elements of those books. I liked the thriller aspects too, but this is more of just like a straight up thriller, it seems. Of course, with like that comedy aspect it kind of talking about. And this is an earlier Blake Crouch, which I know people I think are really mixed on, like the Pines series, which I know was a really like early series that Blake Crouch wrote. Which I think similarly was more of an indie published kind of situation before it kind of started gaining traction. And so I am interested to check this one out and see how it fares. Of course, it was originally from 2010, I think, but I don't know if this new updated publication is like going to be updated or if it's essentially just a rebinding of that original work. I don't know if any additional editing has taken place. I really don't know anything. I just saw this on Goodreads and I was like, oh, that kind of sounds interesting, and I like Blake Crouch, so I'm going to add it. Third book on this list is The Wasp Trap by Mark Edwards. Yes, and this is being released on September 16th, and kind of the like log line for this one says, a dinner party in a beautiful Notting Hill townhouse turns into a sinister game as 6 old friends are forced to spill their darkest secrets or else. And kind of reading more on the synopsis, I think this is more so these people work together at like a company, and I think the owner of this company or the CEO or something has either recently passed away or is doing something, and he's the one who's invited them to this townhouse to kind of spill these secrets. But this one sounds really interesting. I love kind of like a locked room, isolated situation, set in England, and I enjoy the English setting most of the time. I just think it kind of adds for an interesting pop as I'm American and read mostly American written and set things, and so the easiest, quickest way to get a British setting usually is a thriller for me. And so this just kind of has all of the perfect setups. Once again, I don't know anything about this author either, or this book. I don't know if this is like a debut or anything like that, but the title really intrigues me, The Wasp Trap. Like, I just think that that's a cool title. All right, and the last 3 on the list are all authors that I have read before, and so number 4 is Everything About You by Robbie Weber. This is a YA queer male romance book. It seems to be set in Paris. We're following Milo as he's doing like a summer internship. And it's kind of giving me like Heartstopper vibes as far as like when they went to Paris and that story. I think it probably is a little bit inspired by that. But I have read 2 Robbie Weber books before. I read the first one, which is actually right up here on the shelf. If You Change Your Mind is the title of that one. And then I read his second one, which was What Is This Feeling, I think is the title of that one. And I wanted to read his one last year that came out, but it's not available through the library or anything, at least my library. And so I just haven't gotten to it yet because I don't necessarily want to buy it before I know if I like it. I don't necessarily take that risk on like a YA romance when it could really go either way for me. But this one, I still want to check out. I still want to get to. It's being published on, I don't think I said, September 9th, so fairly soon, next month. But yeah, just kind of always interested in checking out specifically kind of like the YA queer romances, because I think that it's so great that there's abundance and kind of a plentiful of those being published nowadays. And I like Robbie Weber as a writer. I think the writing style of these books is super easy and the romances are always pretty cute. So definitely want to check this one out when it is finally released. All right, number 5 on my list, I think is probably my most anticipated of these anticipated books. And I honestly did not even know that this book was being published, that it was going to be in of existence at all until I saw it on Goodreads last night. And it is Red City by Marie Lu. This is, I believe, an adult novel by Marie Lu, who of course has written the Legend trilogy, the Warcross duology, the Young Elites trilogy, the Kingdom of Bach or Back. Yeah, I've read a lot of Marie Lu's Skyward, or not Skyward, what was that title of that book? I actually just got rid of it, Sky Hunter, I think. I actually just got rid of that book, but I really loved Marie Lu back when I was a kid. I loved the Legend trilogy. I reread the first Legend book. I listened to it as an audiobook, I think in 2023, and then I listened to Prodigy, and I thought it was okay, and then I never really continued forward with finally listening to Champion. And I know there's a fourth book in that series now called Rebel that I did have for a while, but also unhauled. But Red City is coming out. So let me see, October 14th. And then let me read you the little description. It says, The Godfather meets the magicians in the sweeping adult debut from #1 New York Times bestselling author Marie Lu. Perfect for fans of V.E. Schwab, Red City is a dark and deadly contemporary fantasy of magical warfare, star-crossed ambition, and the pursuit of perfection at any cost, set in a glittering alternative Los Angeles. That's everything I need to know. Like, just that sounds perfect for me. Like, honestly, that sounds so good. I honestly think I'm gonna go and pre-order this book. I am actually so excited for this. I don't even know why. Like, I think it's just because I loved Marie Lu and the Legend trilogy specifically so much when I was a kid, and like a teenager. And this really is kind of giving me, like, it seems like adult Legend, basically. Like, honestly, it kind of sounds like the plot of Legend exactly, almost with like a few things tweaked. And I wonder if this book is maybe what Marie Lu initially wanted Legend to be, but of course at that time, like, the YA dystopians were everything, and you know, that's what was selling and being published a ton. So yeah, I'm super interested. This is, I think, going to be a series. I don't know if it's a trilogy, but I believe it said on Goodreads like Red City #1. So I am so excited for this. I honestly can't wait for it. And I hope that by the time October 14th comes and it comes out, I'm still excited for it, because yeah, I definitely think I do want to get this book physically and read it once it comes out. So I'm excited because yes, I don't know. I love this. And if anyone has heard anything about this book, please let me know, because I am dying to hear what people think about it so far. If there is any advanced reader copies out there, if people have gotten to read it early, I would love to know what people think of it. Although I am a little scared that if people don't like it, I am going to not want to read it. So we will see. And then number 6 on this list, and maybe I should have switched these, but this is a fairly new book that's going to be published at the end of this month. It's Cannabis by R.F. Kuang. I read Yellowface in January and gave it 5 stars. I absolutely love this. I know that R.F. Kuang also has the Poppy War trilogy, which I was really intimidated by, like, when it first came out. But now, after reading Yellowface, I really do kind of want to give the Poppy War trilogy a try. Babel, I just don't think it's the book for me. I know that people absolutely love it, but just the way that the book is constructed and seemingly what the actual, like, plot and contents of the book, I just don't think I would like that one. Seemingly like a kind of, I guess, urban fantasy. The little line is, 2 graduate students must set aside their rivalry and journey to hell to save their professor's soul, perhaps at the cost of their own. So something that is seemingly very interesting. And I don't know if I said August 26th is the publication date of this one. A lot of people are anticipating it, and I kind of want to see, you know, how I feel about a new release R.F. Kuang at the time when it comes out. But also too, because this one is a little bit more of a fantasy, I know it seems to be more of like an urban or contemporary fantasy, I guess is what they're being called nowadays. Just kind of want to see how R.F. Kuang does fantasy before deciding to commit to the Poppy War trilogy. That is it for this video specifically. So thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what books you are anticipating for the second half of the year, and kind of ones that you have your eye on, ones that you think I should be checking out. And if any of these books are on your list, let me know kind of why you particularly are anticipating them. Is it because you've read from that author before, because the plot sounds really cool? Just anything that you want to share, feel free to do that down below. But I will be back soon with a new video. I kind of have a little bit of a series of videos in mind for August. And so hopefully I can get those filmed, edited, and up on time. But don't hold me to it. So we'll see. But until next time, I will talk to you again soon. Thanks. Bye.